Hi, I'm Paul. So in this video, I'm going to talk a bit about non-duality and the fact that a lot of people seem to be talking about this non-duality as there is no you, there's no me, there's no nothing, just what is happening. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how I see non-duality. So firstly, if we look at the idea of there is no you, no me, no nothing, nothing exists. I am not overly keen on using this idea. I get some of it, but it doesn't point properly to what we're supposed to be looking at. Sorry, there is no me to look. Anyway, I don't. In some ways, I think it kind of goes against non-duality, depending on how you look at it, I guess. So let's just say you walk out your house in the morning and there's a tree in the front garden. I mean, this kind of non-duality would say, yeah, but the tree doesn't exist. Only in my type of non-duality, I would say when you walk out the house in the morning and the tree is there, I would say that tree is everything. All that exists is that tree, and it's perfectly complete. See, that's what's happening. That's the isness. The tree's there. To say there isn't a tree, well, you walk out the house the next day, I'm pretty sure the tree's still going to be there. So in a sense, we could say that's conflict. To see something and say it doesn't exist, conflict. I know I'm being a bit silly by talking about a tree because we could talk about it in different ways with emotions, anger. I'll talk about that later. But I'm just trying to describe the way that I see non-duality in a sense to face what is in this moment in experiential awareness, not in thoughts. That's different. Thoughts always cause a duality. But what is non-duality. That's it. But saying nothing exists, to me seems a little bit like saying, well, it's more like not non-duality, but de-duality, like dissociation, derealization, desensitization. See, for me, non-duality is all about accepting what is. But it's also to say that it's not the description of in the thoughts. And to see this, we can say that this room, to me, is entirely in experiential awareness. I sense it, I see it, I hear it. They're all experiences, and they're in my awareness. But then we can experience things with thoughts. But that cannot be what is. But having a thought is what is. Whether you attach to the thought or not is a different matter. But having a thought is what is. So let's just say the shop down the road, for me, in experiential awareness, doesn't exist right now because I have no experience of the shop. Let's say you go down to the shop and then you phone me and describe the shop. All I've got then is words, thoughts, ideas, images, pictures that I create in my mind. But I've not got experiential awareness like I have of this room. So when my mind drifts into these thoughts and ideas, is not what is. Well, it is what is, because the thoughts in the head of the shop is what is. But to leave this room in my head, to dissociate from my experiences of this here now, to then attach to my thoughts of the shop, would be a conflict, would be duality. because my experiences here are now camouflaged with my rose-tinted glasses with the thought or idea of a shop. That's like saying the word apple isn't the apple. So we could talk about this also with feelings. So let's say I have anger, frustration, sadness. But then I drift off into the thought process of anger. Perhaps I would say in my thought process, he shouldn't have done that. She should not have done that. That's not how it's supposed to be. So on. That's not how it's supposed to be, is not how it is. So that's conflict. You can see at the moment, in this present moment, I can still have anger, even in full-blown non-duality. Anger can still be happening. Anxiety can still be happening. But there's awareness that it's not happening to you. It's happening to your body. So you can be trembling in fear. But you can just observe that it's the body trembling in fear without having to attach. To attach to the fear, you need to have the thought process of the I. This is happening to me. This shouldn't be happening to me. And then you're drifting off into the duality of thoughts. So, to me, it's not about ignoring what is. And duality to me is fully accepting what is. When you've got anger, how do you accept the anger? Well, firstly, you need to work out what the anger is. What is anger? It seems there's two different ways you can view anger. You can view anger as a description of anger, how you think it should feel. Or you can view anger as how it is in this moment. And how is anger at this moment? Tenseness, tightness, high energy, narrowed focus. See, they're all what is. You can't run away from them. So how do we get rid of them? We just observe ourselves. We just observe them without any descriptions. Not that it shouldn't have been or it should be or whatever else. We just look inside of a body at the tension. We just watch it. We don't need to talk about it to ourselves. We just watch the tension because that is what is. And if you're going to say, well, I'm angry, but, well, I guess there's no me to be angry and there's no such thing as anger. Just seems to me like it's a dissociation. Therefore, the tension of the anger persists. I know I'm probably being a little bit negative-ish about this, and it kind of seems like I might be dismissing some of the spiritual side of non-duality. I do understand a lot of the spiritual side of non-duality. I just don't always try to talk about it because it's not always that helpful. I get that the only thing that exists is mind. To me, it seems like my mind, but I do know that it's all mind. The whole world is a construct inside, a creation inside of my mind. And my mind is just projecting all of its construction outwards onto a screen of consciousness. But, what use is that? You can find all that afterwards. All you need to do is just observe yourself. Some people say, come back to awareness, which is great, it does work. But if you're angry and you're coming back to awareness and you're saying, I don't want to see the anger, I'll just bring myself back to awareness and the anger will go away. But that's conflict. Anger's what's really happening. Ignoring the anger, hoping that it'll go away, is conflict. So we bring ourselves back to awareness, and then we observe the tensions in the body, the high energy, tightness in the chest. And we just sit with them, which means we fully accept. We become the tension, the anger. And in that position is non-duality, when there's no conflict. Non-duality doesn't just mean we are not separate. It means nothing separate. It means no conflict. Just full acceptance of what is in an experiential awareness. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say. Thanks for listening.